Let us once again uh, share what I consider the major streams of social science, major subjects within the social science: anthropology, sociology, political science, psychology, economics. The borderline subjects are history, archaeology, geography, demography, law, linguistics. These are the social sciences that I listed. Now, social science arrived in the second half of 19th century with a debate on natural versus social, nature versus convention. This was the initiating debate on the arrival of social sciences. So here you are. We cannot alter the nature. We can actually explain the nature with the laws and motive forces, but the convention or the social can be altered, humanly altered, and it is different from place to place, and we can have theories or laws to explain those social facts or those social institutions or those social events. People at the center of everything, man at the center of everything. So whatever we do, it can be justified by our presence. Our actions are justified by presence. So we can plunder the nature, but we can justify that is due to our consumption. They ask is, what is more empirically observable, the individual or the whole? I guess a convincing case can be made for either side. Here you are in the picture, you can see Hail Hitler. Everybody is raising their hands. Everybody was kind of it's a kind of social action that we see. But one person you can see who is not doing the same. So I would rather say a convincing case can be made for either side. Individual is important, so is the whole. Positivism is the first major or the first and only philosophical position that the social scientists actually embraced. The epistemological view was becoming more positivist here. We can gain knowledge about the true nature of the world through observation and experimentation. Only through observation and experimentation. Otherwise, there is no knowledge. This realistic positivistic view was mostly applied to natural phenomena. For example, God is supreme. But let us see which God. Hindus will tell that, well, their gods and goddesses are supreme. And the Abrahamic religions like the Islam and Christianity, both think that they are the Abrahamic religions and they are the Messianic religions. They think that, well, those who are not following their religious beliefs are in the sea of darkness. It's the duty of a pious Christian or Muslims to show the light to those people who are in the sea of darkness. So if the positivism is to be believed, then which God is supreme is a very big question. But well, once again, as the things as these trends have developed in Europe mostly, they always thought that Jesus is supreme. So no other God is kind of same stature than Jesus. So he saw the positivism developed in the West is the best possible stage, and he talked about positive sociology that studied human societies in terms of positive methods and positive religion. Once again, the term positive religion is totally based on Christianity. So, once again, this positivism, this positive sociology, they have tried to replace worship of God with worship of humanity. That's the positive religion. It emanates from Christianity, but later the God was replaced with the worship of humanity. He said, very few people say that. Natural science will in time incorporate into itself the science of man, just as the science of man will incorporate into itself natural sciences. There will be one science. So this person told this thing. I mean, it's a very futuristic quote. And we can try, I mean, you can try rather to relate this quote with present day condition. Present day surge of natural sciences, present day surge of social sciences. I think you can find some material in this kind of observation of Kalman. All of them, I mean, not only Morgan but Tyler, all of them said that all societies progress through stages. Europeans are the most advanced people. And of course, justification of European colonial rule was there because those people living in the other side, other areas of the world, non-Western world, are the lesser children of God. So we must rule on them to civilize them, to bring those lesser children of God to closer closer to God rather. Can we make a definite statement in politics? Can we say why this guy is dancing? Apparently he is a politician. Apparently he is very joyous, overjoyous, should I say? It seems he has got a kind of felicitation. What for, you don't know. But in this dancing, whether the felicitation or whether a win over the opposition is there, or whether he is thinking about his future, his rosy future, where he can make so much money. So can we make normative obligatory statement in politics and it measures applied in political actions, and whether this measure can be justified scientifically? We can say that this guy is dancing because he is thinking about his future. He will make crores of money, but can we actually say that? Can we measure the political action and whether this measure can be justified scientifically? That's important.